Hey loves, mwah, mwah, mwah. So update, my ankle is still sprained, but I'm not wearing the boot today. I might put it on later, but hold on. This is so uncomfortable because I don't want to show you guys my feet. Anyways, do I look cute? I know I look cute. I just did my hair, you know, flexi rod curls, whatever. Anyways, so this is a little story time, and
boy, do I have the tea.
Like the absolute most tea. If I had a cup of tea, which I did, but I drank it because it was good. Anyways, so I'm going to tell you guys about what happened to me at work. Yes, at work. Mind you, this is my first job ever. There are bound to be bumps, and a lot of stuff I have looked over, and I just don't talk about it because I'm that person to kind of let stuff go, don't want to think about it anymore. It's in the past, you know?
But
this coworker did something that was very, very, very rude, and I just have to talk about it because it's just been on my mind since the other day. Let's get into the video. So I'm going to work and I have this boot on because my ankle is sprained. I let my coworker know that my ankle is sprained, and this person, they're like, oh, okay. So usually I don't have a problem with any of my coworkers. I love all of them. They're really cool, but at certain points, like this really bothered me because I'm like, what the actual heck? Like, why? So the whole time we were there, so I work at a place where we have checklists because we have to always, like, we have the company has very high standards. So we have to keep a checklist and make sure everything is done on the checklist, as well as other things to make sure that our place is clean, everyone has a good experience, things like that. So when it gets to that time to start doing certain things on the checklist to prepare to close, we have a 3-hour checklist, 3-hour before close checklist, a 2-hour before close checklist, a 1-hour before close, and then an after close checklist. Okay, so I started doing the 3-hour before close checklist, and there's only like 5 things on there. So I start doing like 3 of them. I'm like, my coworker can do the other 2, and he is just at the counter on his phone watching whatever. I'm like, okay, like I don't really mind my coworkers on their phone, but at the same time I'm like, you know that I'm doing this checklist and you are not helping. And a lot of the stuff on there I can't do because I can't get on my tippy toes to reach things. I can't I can't go certain places because it's too small of a crevice. I can't pull out stuff because then my ankle will twist trying to pull it out. So I'm like, he's not helping. He's just on his phone. So I was like, okay, he's going to help later on. So I finished that whole 5 things to do. We get to the 2-hour checklist, which is much longer. It's like 20 things to do, and to be honest, he only did 2 things on there, and then he went back on his phone at the counter. So I basically completed those whole 2 checklists by myself, and he only completed the things that I just didn't do. Because at that point, I was like, if I can't do it, I'm not going to stress myself to do it because that's just, I'm not going to do that. If it doesn't get done by me, you're going to have to find out some kind of way to do it. So, I finished what I needed to do on that 2-hour checklist. And mind you, I started the checklist early because I know how it is when we close. At 8 o'clock before we close, everyone starts coming in and people start coming in and it's like a rush. So I wanted to finish those 2 checklists early so that we wouldn't have to start the other checklist for another hour, so that we would have an hour in between those checklists to just chill or serve customers or things like that. So we got that hour to chill, and then it came to a time where we needed to start the next one. Didn't help with that one at all. And I basically did the whole thing by myself. Like, I was going to, like, take a picture we put our initials by the things that we've done. I was going to like take a picture of the checklist from my day because I literally did almost everything with the sprained ankle. Like it got to the point where my ankle hadn't been hurting, but it was so sore because he had me going back and forth trying to do everything by myself. And he would like look up and watch me do it and then still be on his phone. That like really irritated me, and I was like, okay, whatever. You have to be respectful for the other people that work there and your coworkers. He hasn't been wanting to do work. You're getting paid to be here. You need to work. Like, and I'm not that type of person who's going to text the boss and be like, hey, they're not doing so-and-so. And I'm like, hey, look, I need help. Certain things I cannot do. So he's like, okay. He just did like 2 other things and then went back to doing what he was doing.
I'm like, that's not actually helping.
You have to, when someone is here doing work, you have to pull your weight. You have to at least try to equalize the work that you're doing. And then when it came to closing time, I had already finished everything on the list by myself. Like literally almost everything by myself. He did 4 things. And when it came to closing checklist, he started closing early. He closed 3 minutes early. Like he turned off everything and turned off the open sign. I'm like, if someone were to come in the drive-thru, we'll be in trouble. Like, someone were to come to the door, like, I'm sorry, you want to leave early, but then you didn't want to help try to clean up so we could leave early. What if I just looked at you and didn't do any of the list, and then we'll be there until 10 o'clock? But I'm not that type of person, once again. Next time this happens, however, I will be that type of person. Anyways, so I went and we finished. So he started counting. He barely did anything again. I told him I usually just wash the dishes, so I told him to bring everything back to wash dishes, and I made him clean up the front, do whatever needs to be done in the front. That means putting foods that need to be in the prep cooler, prepping more food, empty out the ice machine. So he just threw everything back. He barely did what he was supposed to do. He just threw everything around and like hid it under stuff. And then he starts counting his drawer early. I'm done washing dishes, so I come up, and it's not even 2 minutes after he starts counting his drawer. Like, he just started counting his drawer, and I came up and started counting my drawer. And when I like took out, because we have to balance the drawer out to a certain number, when I took out what I needed to make the deposit, he goes, "All right, bye, see you later." I'm sorry? See you later? I'm like, I go, huh? And then he's out the door. Like, he goes out the back door and leaves me in there by myself. Mind you, I am a 17-year-old female. I know I work out. I know I play sports. You know, I'm strong or whatever, and I could probably handle myself. But if a mass murderer or a psycho or a rapist or something popped up behind that back door when I left, I can't really run because I have a boot on my foot. Correct? Correct. Okay? And I was just upset. I was like, okay, what the heck? I'm not. And it wasn't even like, we are timed to leave at 9:30. It was 9:32. We were literally I was on my way out the door with him. Like, it wasn't like it was almost 10 o'clock at night and I was holding him up. I can understand that if it was like, if it was getting on 9:50 and you were like, okay, I gotta go. My parents are waiting outside to drive me home. I can understand that, but it was literally 2 minutes after. Like, that really irritated me. So now I'm just pissed. Like, what man does that? I just don't understand what was going on in this person's mind. After this, I don't want to bring it up again. I don't want to work another shift with them again. Like, it was really flabbergasted me, and when I got home, I had to take a deep breath. Like, I was so mad, because I'm like, I don't like people treating me like I'm hurt, but at the same time, you have to be considerate that I obviously can't fend for myself in the way that I would usually be able to. Like, you don't have to help me walk up the stairs, or you don't have to help me, like, do anything. You could do your part and do your job. I wasn't asking him to help me do stuff, but it's your job. You're not helping me, you're doing your job. He didn't do that. He didn't have the common courtesy to make sure that I was safe. And even like when I've closed with another female, what am I supposed to do by myself? Like, I just want to know, was I wrong not to say anything more to him? Was I wrong not to contact the boss earlier that day? Like, am I wrong for being mad? I just want to know. And that's the tea. I just really want to know if I was wrong in any kind of way, because I don't feel like I was. I really just feel annoyed. So, I just wanted to let you guys know that, because I thought it would be good content. And honestly, this was crazy. And I hope I never have to experience it again. But, you know, sometimes that happens in life. I understand. You work at a job. Stuff happens. You're not always going to like one of your coworkers. But at the same time, you also have to be, I feel like you have to be respectful of them too. And the fact that they just didn't care about my well-being and that they left really showed what kind of person they are. So, yeah. Thank you guys for watching my Spill the Tea video. And I love you guys. Bye.